Hi, I'm Eddie Horn. Welcome to Topstep Funded Trader Interview. Today we've got Jay. Jay is going to be with us here talking about his journey to the funded account. He's also going to be talking about his payout to himself from the funded account. But before we start, remember, have your pencil sharpened, have ink in your pen, because taking notes can and will help you down the road. Well, without further ado, let's bring on Jay. Jay, how are you?
You doing good, Eddie? How are you?
I'm fine. Thank you for asking. Jay, thanks for being here. And, with everybody watching and listening, if you can, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, I'm 33 years old. I'm born and raised in New York. I live about an hour outside of the city right now. Been trading for on and off for about 4 years now.
Okay. Now, what led you to pursue a career in trading?
Uh, I think when I started, it was kind of more buy and hold investing. Talking to my parents, just buy stocks, hold them for the long term. Really, no reason to sell once you buy something if you're buying good companies. But then I think, like a lot of people my age, social media, and you see things posted, you see Instagram posts about traders, and of course you see the lavish side of it. So that was a draw. But then ultimately being able to make decisions on a day-to-day basis about, your finances, things like that.
Okay. Now, if I can ask you,
Mhm.
what are you trading now and why?
So right now I'm trading NASDAQ for the most part, but I will look at crude oil and the ES as well. I think what I've grown to know recently is sometimes trade the market that's moving. Sometimes with the NASDAQ, there might not be volume that day, right? It might be a range day, but then there's opportunity in another market. So those are the three that I focus on, but I will keep other markets
You
up
know,
on screen just to maybe find an opportunity there as well.
right. You have your primary, secondary, and then that third one that sort of just sits there, and every once in a while you pop it up and say what's going on. But
Right.
yeah, it's what you got to do, now. NASDAQ, very quick market. I mean, is that something that you enjoy? Are you like looking for that fast moving market, or is it just something that you can catch very well?
I think it's something that I can catch well. I think when I started trading it, it was, let's focus on this one market, kind of understand its personality, understand how it moves. And I was able to, you know, apply the way I trade to that market. It is a fast moving market, I will agree.
Yeah.
And there are times where it's just like, maybe this isn't the best market to trade for the day, where, there's 30-point swings here and there, and it's kind of uncontrollable. But I think on days, where it is easy to read, there is a lot of opportunity there.
All right. Jake, can you walk us through your typical trading day from start to finish?
Absolutely. So what I normally do in the morning, I'm normally at my desk by 8 o'clock in the morning. And then I'm marking off levels on charts. So I do use Hoag's weekly kickoff levels. Those are the first levels that I put on my chart in the beginning of the week. But then I'm looking at, where the market may have traded the day prior. Then around 8:45, I'm joining, the market forecast meeting, kind of listening to, what sentiment might be, just kind of overall. And then once 9:30 hits, what I normally do, I try not to take any trades in the first 5 minutes of the market. I let the opening range establish and then try to make trades based on, that range.
Yeah, it's one thing too. I tell you, when that US Open happens, I'm one to sit curbside and let that parade go by for a bit.
Yeah,
There's a lot of noise. Let the dust settle.
right.
A lot of head fakes going on here in these markets nowadays, and you,
Absolutely.
you want to see that true move. Let me ask you, Jake, how do you manage your risk in trades?
So I set a stop. Um, what I've been doing with the Nasdaq. It's like a 15-point stop.
Okay.
So There's a bracket order that I have with a stop loss. Normally, once my trade moves into profit, then I'm moving that stop loss manually. I've tried doing, trailing stops and things like that. But once a trade is in a profit, I'm moving the stop manually to logical points. I think there was a time where I was focused on monetary stops, and I don't think that's the best for my process. So more so it's, hey, finding a point on the chart that invalidates this trade after a while.
All right. Yeah. Now, one of the big questions is, I know we've got free coaching here at Topstep,
Mm.
and a lot of the traders ask Coach Ed, what's a good place to enter a market and what's a good place to exit? Could you share with us your process?
So a good place to enter. I trade off of price action and volume. So I'm looking at where maybe a lot of volume has been executed throughout the day. And I'll try to enter. So if I see a lot of buying coming in, right, and I expect the market to be going up, I usually try to wait for a pullback below where that buying happened, right? If a buyer comes in, let's say at 13,150, I try to have my entry below where they came in, right? Because if they like it there, sometimes the market pulls back a little bit. I would like to be in below where they came in, if that makes sense. And then good spots to exit. If the trade is in the negative, it's one, monetary, and then two, is it a logical spot to exit, right? You might have a monetary exit that's $500, let's say, but it's underneath a psychological level. In my mind, I'm thinking, if it's that close to it, put it above the psych level, because that's a level that everybody's paying attention to, right? And then exiting in profit, to be honest, it's kind of the same thing. It's finding logical spots on the chart to exit.
Right. Yeah, I tell you, nowadays it's like, take what the market gives you, take it, and then take a look and see if there's another opportunity at that spot. I mean, it's a good spot. If it gave you a winning trade,
Right.
it might give you another one.
Right.
Now, Jay, you passed step one, you passed step two, you got funded, you paid
Mhm.
yourself out. What happened after that?
So after that, and I think what I still need to work on a little bit is account management, where you're taking a withdrawal from an account, but there's a buffer that I think you need to allow yourself to have in that account for days where there are losses, right? I think all of us who have been doing this for any amount of time understand that there's no system that works forever. There's no process that works forever. So accounting for those negative days is what I guess it was an oversight on my part, where I ended up losing the funded account, unfortunately. But I think, the next time I'm there, that's going to be a main focus, getting the account to a point where it can handle some of those negative days.
Right. I mean, you got to start out. Uh, you got to build that foundation. You got to have that safety net just in case,
Yep.
you do have a bad day.
Yep.
Now, wise words of wisdom, Jay. What advice would you give someone who is new to trading?
To someone who is new to trading, I think once you kind of find a system that works for you, I think we all know that there isn't any system that works 100%. So I think a lot of times we can, spend time trying to refine a system, and looking for, maybe another 5% or 10% to get a system to work.
Yeah.
But if you find something that's around, you can make it work 60, 70% of the time. For me personally, I think more of a focus is what you do personally, right? When there are winning trades, when there are losing trades, right? If I journal, most of the times I see where, there's big account swings, it's something, not something technical, it's more something personal, right? So I think finding out what your response is to losing trades, what your response is to winning trades, because they're going to happen in any system, right? So I think that is should be a big focus for people who are starting.
Right. I tell you, management, that's very important.
Mhm.
On, managing your account and, specifically managing yourself. That's something that I think we all need to practice, and sometimes, a lot of us do forget. Now, with our Top Step program, what was one of the rules that helped you most?
I think what helped me, one of the rules that helped me the most was in step 2, that consistency rule. I think there was a point where, and some of us may have gone through this before, where it's just like, okay, I'm trying to make as much as possible in a short amount of time to get to that funded level. That consistency rule kind of forces you to pump the brakes a little bit, if you're even anywhere close to that, right? And it's more so, hey, just repeat a process day in and day out. And if you can do that, then you'll get to the point where you need to be. So I think it would be that one for sure.
Okay. Now, Jay, if I can ask you, what do you like most about Top Step?
Top Step offers an opportunity for traders to learn, and then once you're comfortable with the system, it allows you to trade that system to earn money without putting much of your own at risk. And it allows, honestly, it allows room for mistakes for traders, without as much of a catastrophic risk as it would be with your own account, if that was the case.
Right. Has Top Step made you a better trader?
I think it has. I think it has. I think it's made me more patient in some cases. And honestly, with much of the community aspect of it, even in the Discord, I'm in the Discord chat, I'm joining the meetings and things like that. Those things have helped me just with a different mindset. Even the Make Hope Money meeting, right? I joined that meeting a lot. I don't normally say anything, but hearing other traders talk about the market, what their mindset is, it doesn't influence my trading decisions, but it kind of helps remind me to talk through trades while I'm going through them. I think sometimes you can sit here and just click buttons,
Right.
but hearing that process and hearing traders talk through that process has made me a better trader for sure.
Cool. Hey, if you're in our Discord channel, stop by, say hello to Jay. Don't bother him if he's in a trade, though.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Jay, you know what? I appreciate you answering these questions. Now I'm going to get a little easier with the answers here.
Okay.
Besides trading, what do you do? Do you got any hobbies, collections, sports,
I
music?
do. Outside of trading, I'm a basketball coach. Actually, I'm a high school basketball coach, which from what I've seen in the past year of coaching, I actually took over as head coach of the school I'm at this year. There are a lot of similarities, and there have been times where I say something on the court to players that I'm just like, I could use that, when I'm sitting at my desk trading.
Right.
So
Right.
yeah, but a lot of basketball. I'm getting ready to go through a lot of travel. There's tournaments all over the place. I'll be in Nebraska, Texas,
Wow.
all these places for a couple of tournaments in a couple of weeks.
You want to give your team school a plug?
Yeah, so I coach at a Storm King School in New York. It's, if anyone's familiar with New York, it's maybe 15 minutes away from West Point.
Wow. Okay. I coached baseball for 25 years, and I know exactly what you're talking about, how you can use what you've learned in coaching and apply that to trading.
Yeah,
Patience, discipline, management,
right,
the top three.
right.
And that it does help transition both ways. So
It does.
props to you for that.
Thanks.
All right, Jay. Now it is time. It is time for the fun question. Okay.
Okay.
Now, if you can have one night out with one famous celebrity, past or present, who would it be?
That is a great question. I would say Jay-Z, the rapper Jay-Z. I think,
Jay-Z.
yeah,
Now,
I think he's. Go ahead.
hopefully he would buy dinner and buy the drinks, right? Pick
Right,
you up
right.
in his limo, and
Yeah,
and
yeah,
that would
yeah.
be pretty fun, man.
It,
You'd be like king of the town walking around with him,
he'll
right?
be there. Beyonce's there. It'll be be a great time.
There you go.
All
Cool.
due respect to him, that is his wife, but that would be a great night.
Of course, all respect, but I
Right.
probably think that he'd probably leave her home.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
mean, if it
We'll
was
see.
just a guy's out,
Right,
but
right.
Jay-Z. All right, cool. Um, Jay, I appreciate your time here with us. I want to wish you all the success at Top Step. Thanks for stepping up to the plate here and doing the interview.
Absolutely.
And like I said, all the best. Trade well. Any last words before we call it?
Uh, no, I mean, something that I remind myself of every day is to be patient. I think there are times where that's not the easiest thing to do, but it's what I've seen has led to success when I have it,
Yeah.
and the opposite when I don't. So yeah, just that.
All right. Thanks, Jay.
All right.
And for you watching this video, listening to this video, don't forget to like and subscribe to channel because you don't want to miss anything Top Step has. Until we meet again, I'm Eddie Horn. Stay focused, stay positive, trade well, and take care.